Welcome back to Python Made Easy. This is video number 2 in our beginner series. In the last video, you wrote your very first Python program, that simple little print hello world. Today we are going one step further. Let me ask you this. You have got your name, your age, your favorite food and your height. If I told you to keep repeating all of that over and over again, you would get tired quickly, right? Instead, imagine putting each one in a box with a label. You open it whenever you need it. That's exactly what variables are in Python. And these boxes, they don't just hold one kind of thing, they can hold numbers, text, decimals, or just yes or no facts. In Python, we call those data types. Once you understand the idea of boxes and types, everything else you will learn later will feel 10x easier. In last video, we have created a simple day 1 folder in our main directory, and then we have created fast code Python file. So let's create another folder. It will be called day 2 and create a Python file inside it. It will be called variables and data types dot python, and let's create our very first variable in our programming journey. We will create a simple variable of type integer. Integers are numbers that does not contain decimal point values. For example, 12 is an integer, 13 is an integer, 100 is integer. These are the integer variables. So we need to store integers and decimal point values in different data types. Both of them are different data types. So let's create a simple variable called age equal. Equal is an assignment operator. Whatever we write on the left side is the definition of variable, and whatever we write on the right side will be assigned to the variable on the left side. Because like, for example, if I say age equal to 12, so what it will do is it will create a simple box called age in our main memory, and it will store 12 value into it, right? And if we print the age, let's run the program, we will get 12 because the age contains the value of 12. If we modify a little bit the print function, we can say my age is, and if I go after the quotes and I put a comma and then age, what it will do is, let's see by running the program, it is saying my age is 12 because we printed the my age first, and then the comma after the quotation specify or indicates the space, and then it prints the value of age. This is how we can print variables in our print function. We have another way that is universally used, that is called formatting string. What we can do is, in our print function we can write f and then our double quotations, and then I can say my age is, and if I use curly braces and then put the variable inside it, the variable age, and if I run the program once again, I will get the same output, my age is 12. So this is a better way of printing variables in our print function, or we can say storing variables or printing variables in a string. So let's create another variable of my name. I will say name equal and David. What it is doing is it is just assigning David value on the left side of variable declaration called name. It is storing variable David in our variable name. So this is what it is doing. So this is data type of string. Strings are basically text. Whatever you write, like in alphabets of English, is called text simply. Hasib is in text, David is in text, this is my string is text. Whatever you write, you can store in it, but make sure you have to like assign it by defining within the quotes. You can use single quotes as well, that's totally fine. I can say David this way as well, and I can store it in double quotation, whatever you prefer. So basically it's flexible, and the above I can also specify in comments that I have taught you in this last video, and I can say string data type, and here I can write a comment called integer data type. Okay. If I use the print function once again, and I use f formatting string, I can write f, and then I can say my name is, and use curly braces, and then I write name, and then I can write and then my age is, and I once again I will specify the age variable, and let's clear the console. And if I run the program once again, you can say it is saying my name is David and my age is 12. Basically, the David came from this variable that we specified in f formatting, and then the age 12 came from the age variable. Okay, and now let's create another type of variable that we call float variables. If I say my height, you can say height is stored basically in decimal variables values, right? The height could be 5.5, height could be 5.6, 5.0, 5.0.1, whatever. And I can say my height equal 5.5, and I can put a comment called float data type. So basically, we can't store floating point values in our integer variable. So this is what we need to specify. And if I write another print function once again, I can say print and then f, that is a formatting string, and then I double quotation name. I can say specify the name for variable, and I can say age, age, and height, height. Let's run the program. Here you can say it's saying name David, age 12, and height is 5.5. So how cool is it? You can see. So basically, why we are doing, we can also do like this. For example, I can say name Hasib, name Hasib. I can say age is 13 and the height is 5.5. So it will work basically similar. If I say name David, age 12, you can say I'm getting the same output. Here we can say, but the issue is if I want to use like my age in further in programming, I need to define the number once again. So instead of writing number one again and again in our programming, we can just define a variable, and then we can reuse it. So that's make our code more flexible and manageable. So I'm basically undoing whatever I have done. So let's go to the our fourth data type, that is boolean. Boolean is shortly called bool variables. So basically they store true or false values. I can store the status of my student. Basically I can say student is equal to true. Basically what it is saying is the student is equal to true. I am it's just defining am I student or not. So if I print in my string status, and I can say student, if I run the program, it's saying status is equal to true. Basically what it is telling us that I am a student. Basically if I write false and run the program once again, it's saying status is equal to false, because like it's basically defining my status of schooling, whether I am still student or not. So this is our boolean data type. Boolean or bool, you can say shortly, data type. Integer in shortly called int, and the float is called float. So this is our totally four variable data types. So we have another data types as well that we will later learn, because they are a little bit complex to learn in the beginning. So these are the four basic data types in our programming languages. Okay, and I can use them in later on. For example, if I write another print function that says my name is, I can once again say a name variable. Sorry, I have to rewrite. I have to use f string f. My name is. I can still specify the name, and then close the parentheses. And if I run the program once again, you can say it's say my name David, and it also saying my name is David, because whenever I will specify or write my variable name, it will print out the value that is stored in it. We can also update the values of variables, or we can delete a variable. These are the basic functions of variables, you can say. Like if I redefine the name equal to Michael, now run the program. So here you can see, first of all, I have stored name equal to David, and it printed David. But once I redefined it, I said name is equal to Michael, then it printed my name is Michael. So you can redefine the variables as well, basically update the values of them. The main purpose of using variable is to reduce the repetition and make the code more manageable, more flexible. So we have studied the four main data types. One is integer, and the second is string, then we have float, and then we have boolean data type. We can also get the data type in Python. Basically, if I want to get to know about the data type of age, or I want the data type of name, what I can do is just write a print function, and then write type, and then you have to use parentheses and write the variable name in it. And if we run the program, what we will get is it's saying class int. Basically it's defining the data type of my variable. We will read the class and everything later on. So if I write type and then name, if I run the program once again, it's saying str stands for string. If I say height and run it, it's saying float data type. If I write in student and run the program, it's saying bool, that basically stands for boolean. So you can also get the data type of variables in Python by using type function in it. You can also store the data type of a variable in another variable. Like I can say I can say data type of name equal to type name, and then I can simply print this variable that we have created and stored the value of data type of name. If I if I print the data type name and run the program, it says string. What it did is it just stored the data type of name in another variable called data type name and just print it out. That's how simple is it. So now let's understand a little bit about variables in our memory, how they are stored. Basically, you can imagine age box is created in our main memory, and the value 12 is stored in it, and then this total box is stored in our main memory. And we have created a name box and labeled it as name, and then store the value, or you can say peg the value of name in it, that was David, and then we have stored it in our main memory. We have created another variable, or you can say another box, that was labeled as height, and then stored value of 5.5, and then we have stored it in our main memory. And finally, a variable, or you can say a box, was created with the label called student, and then stored the value of false, and then it was totally stored in our main memory. So basically we have created four boxes. We have assigned value to each of them, we have assigned a label to each of them, and then totally stored all those boxes in our main memory, so that we can use those variables further on in our program. So now it's your turn. What you have to do is you have to create a basic program where you will store your personal details, basically the age, name, height, and student, and print them. And you can write in comment that you have successfully created variables, and then you have used in your program in your print function. If you face any issue, anything, like you are feeling you didn't understand the variables yet, you can just drop a comment. I will recreate another video and post it, and so you can get better idea of variables. Basically I have tried to simplify it as much as possible. So that's it. You just learned what variables are and the different types of data they can hold. Remember this simple picture: a variable is just like a box with a label, and the type is what kind of stuff that box is allowed to carry. Numbers, text, decimals, true or false. That's it. Easy, right? Make sure you practice by creating a few boxes of your own, maybe your name, your age, your favorite food, or your height and your student status, and print them out. The more you play with these basics, the faster they lock in your brain. And don't forget, every expert was once a beginner. The only difference, they kept learning, kept going. So stay with me in this course, because in the next video, we will take these variables and start using operators to do real work with them. That's what things start to feel like real programming. Thanks for watching.